What's going on? What's going on, guys? This is your man, Real Deal, Steele, coming to you live this Friday night, feeling all right. What is good? I took a few needed days, nights off, so it's good to be back, guys. Good to see you guys in the mix. A lot of familiar names, a lot of members in the chat, and almost an exclusively all members chat so far active tonight, and I love it. I love it. Before we get started, if I could just ask you to hit that like button. It's the number one thing you can do to help the channel out, help it ascend to the moon, Mars, and beyond. And if you're brand new here, I'd like to personally welcome you. You are watching Steven Steele Live. Guess what? I'm Steven Steele. It's awesome to have you here. And we've got the best community in all of crypto-centric, channels on the YouTube. So I'd love for you to join us here. So hit subscribe, hit all on that notification bell. Ascend with us to the moon, Mars, and beyond, rain or shine. You know it. Also, if you feel compelled to super chat anywhere throughout the duration of this broadcast, that's hugely appreciated for all the time and efforts I put into the show, and that's why I'm able to stream as much as I do. So welcome, guys. Who do we got active in the chat so far tonight? We've got Alan Schneider. We got Julio. Good to see you, Julio. We got the 7-1. We've got Alan Schneider, of course. Hector the Dude. Good to see you, Hector. Mike Tracy. Good to see you back. Who else here? We got the RW, good to see you. Of course, Mama Crypto, good to see you. Diamond Hands Freddy. Who else here? Am I leaving anyone out of the mix? Humpdeezy, yes, Humpdeezy. Jason Huffman, yes, Jason Huffman. Absolutely. Erectile Reptile, Hunter Wayne. Yes, indeed. Stormer, good to see you, Stormer. Zombie Doge Army, Emperor Doge. I love it. Alex, good to see you, Alex. And Richard Powell, good to see you, Richard. Carolina, yes, indeed. Crypto Iron Man, good to see you. Jason Huffman starting things off right and out of sight with a $10 to make you holler. Glad to be back, Steven. I was bored. Well, guys, it's good to be back, and I'm happy to entertain you in the best way I know how. Chris Mara, good to see you back in the mix. We got Mark as well. Awesome. We got a great crew in here tonight. So what's going on, people? Goodness gracious, what a day. What a last a couple of days, really, but particularly today. Boy, has Bitcoin seen better days, right? Bitcoin has seen better days, to put it mildly. Where are we at right now? So Bitcoin right now, as it stands right now, coming in 35,500. 35,500. I have to say I saw this coming, but I didn't see it coming. As you guys recall, those of you who watch me frequently, I said I was anticipating Bitcoin dropping to the likes of 39, 38. And there's another, I actually voiced this to Chris on his channel when he was live streaming the other day, and he said, no, I'm looking at the all the charting showing that it's highly unlikely that Bitcoin is not going to drop below 40K. Well, here we are, folks. So I hate to say I told you so, but I have to say I didn't see Bitcoin going lower than 38,000. So that did catch me off guard. But look, I have to say, within the last 12 months, I have never seen more hysterics. I've never seen more fearful people in the crypto scene over the last 12 months as I have today. And I just got to chuckle. I just got to laugh because, folks, you're free to do what you want, make your own decisions. I'm not a financial advisor. But the reason why I'm still in good spirits and the reason why I'm still encouraged is because I'm not worried. I'm not stressed at all. And I say this as someone who has a portfolio that's down pretty significantly. I'm still in the green, mind you. I'm still in the green, but it's down very significantly, very significantly. And I'm sure every one of you are either down very significantly or you're deep in the red even, right? Deep in the red even. Well, these are just my perspectives that I'm going to be sharing with you, but I'm fine, baby. I'm fine. I'm fine if Bitcoin goes to 30,000. And that may happen. Now, I think it'd be highly, highly improbable if Bitcoin got any lower than that. And I think that would be the bottom from what I'm seeing right now. But even at that, I am bullish. And I'm particularly feeling very good about, in a way, I'm kind of tickled that Bitcoin has dropped as low as it has because I've always felt my Bitcoin position was lacking, and because I've been waiting for an opportunity that I didn't think was going to come, and so for me this is an opportunity. Now I'm still waiting. I'm personally not buying in. I will be stocking up on more Bitcoin, and I'm not buying in. I'm waiting for a few more days because Jerome Powell and the Federal Reserve, they are going to be making a pretty important kind of press conference speech going on Wednesday. And that's going to give people a pretty good indicator on which direction they're going in terms of how strict the regulations will be and the taxation processes and policies they're going to try to achieve going forward. And people's reaction to that is going to decide which way the market's going to go over the next few months. So just to be safe, I'm kind of waiting for that to go down, but I'm going to share my thoughts on that in a moment. What do we got here? Paradiddle. With the kitty in the middle. And the roof on the fiddle. Coming in with a $5 super chat. Let's go, Steven. I'm optimistic long-term. I love it. Yo, what's up, Mr. Steele? Carl, good to see you. Chica Doge in the mix. Who else do we got? I think I'm caught up with new people entering the chat as of now. So, I say this to tell you that I don't think... Now, keep in mind, I've been one that hasn't been particularly... I haven't been the biggest fan of this administration. Well, let me put it that way. But that being said, I really don't think Mr. Powell and company are going to want to put the markets in a perpetual tailspin here. They have everything to lose and nothing to gain by doing that. So I do think Wednesday, I feel fairly confident that whatever is said Wednesday is going to reassure and calm the markets down and have a stabilizing effect. Firstly, I'd like to say that. Secondly, people are like, what's going on with crypto? I'm just kind of like, probably the same thing's going on with the stock market. Duh! The same thing's going on with the stock market. Now, almost every time the stock market gets incredibly bearish and takes a big tumble, cryptocurrency acts accordingly as well. Just as cryptocurrency is still living under most of the crypto market is still operating under Bitcoin dominance. Though even when you go above Bitcoin, the entire crypto market still kind of operates under stock dominance, in a very broad sense, right? In a very broad sense, not in a super specific sense. So don't get it twisted there. But when the stock market's doing incredibly well, it definitely makes the crypto market much more bullish, and conversely, when the stock market is doing very poorly, that ends up becoming reflected throughout cryptocurrency, right? And I didn't hear a lot of people talk about this today, okay? I didn't hear a lot of people talk about this today. So what's happening right now isn't just exclusive to cryptocurrency. It's all of the markets doing this. It's all the markets doing this. So, that being said, I also wanted to bring up a few other points to you guys. And when we look at the level of mass adoption that's been taking place in both the crypto space and the NFT space from, frankly, the biggest companies in the world, they are been taking major aggressive steps towards adoption in cryptocurrency and, some of the metaverse and NFT stuff. We've got Amazon, we've got Walmart, we've got Target, we've got Visa, and the list goes on and on and on. And these are really new, aggressive, big steps towards adoption from all of these companies and there's just too numerous to mention, frankly, too numerous to mention. This has all occurred over the last year, folks, and much of it occurred over the last 3 or 4 months. Furthermore, I would contend when you look at the trading volume of Bitcoin, it's still very, very healthy. Okay, it's still very healthy. And I guarantee there are many people much more powerful and wealthy than all of us put together here, and more connected than all of us we are right here, that are buying and accumulating like crazy right now. So for those of you who watch this show on a regular basis, maybe the spiel isn't quite what I'm talking about here. Shouldn't quite be as big of a surprise for you, because these are things that I talk about and themes that I talk about very often, and subjects I talk about, and ideas that I talk about very often on this program. I've always said that personally, my personal investment strategy, the overwhelming majority of my portfolio consists of high utility, high market cap, safer investments, within the crypto sphere. I mean, no crypto's safe, but you know what I mean. And I tend to see these as not 1-year holds, not 2-year holds. I see these as at least 5-year holds, minimum of 4 to 5 year holds. And so that's just where I'm at with the overwhelming majority of my portfolio. So if we just go back a little bit about a year ago. Let me look here at the Bitcoin charts. Which is always edifying when we go back far enough, right? So, just to give you a reminder, Bitcoin was at 28, almost about 29,000 on June 16th of this last summer. 28,000, and that was after Bitcoin achieved its all-time high of over 63,000. I tell you this because, folks, we've been here before, baby. Cool it down, babies. We got this. Vegas, baby. We're going to Vegas. All of us are going to Vegas. Again, folks that watch this channel know that we are planning. This community is planning a Vegas meetup, a Vegas weekender. We're all going to party down. I don't have the dates yet, but it's going to be sometime in 2022. There are potential plans for the Eagles of Death Metal to play that weekender. So I'm just waiting from Rock Lobster, aka Jesse Hughes, to confirm that. But the last time he was in here, he said he did talk about it with his bandmates, and they would be down to do it. Which we can make this weekender into a big event, a big event. That will far extend our reach outside of this community. So stay tuned for that. So, folks, as the thumbnail reads, as the title strongly suggests on this evening show, sorry about that, my mic hit the floor, on this special episode of Midnight Mass, Steven Steele style, Calm the tits. I want every person in this room to take a big deep breath, Hold it 2 seconds. Exhale. One more time. Feels nice, right? Cool it down. Slow the roll, baby. Slow the roll. We got this. We've been here before. We've been here before. In fact, we've been here before even more dynamically. Again, lest I remind you, what was that? June. And I remember this day, July 16th. Bitcoin at 28,700. And this was following the all-time high. This was following the all-time high. And then people were wailing and gnashing their teeth that the sky was falling, that Bitcoin was done. And since that 28,000 low of Bitcoin, Bitcoin went on to ascend to another all-time high of nearly 69,000. Nearly 69,000. Mama Crypto says, my tits have never been calmer, Steve. And I'm so glad to hear. I'm so glad to hear. Alan says his are frozen. And Jason says, mine don't like being calm. Well, folks, I'm not trying to tell your tits what to do. I am just here to try to foster a more reasonable environment for all. But when they're cold, they become more noticeable to the public underneath the upper garment that you are wearing. Now, with that in mind, let's go to Cointelegraph. Bitcoin falls to 38K. Trader said bulls need a Hail Mary to avoid a bear market. BTC price dropped to new lows to 36,000. Right now, it's just trading. It's come up just a little bit. It's trading just barely below 36 right now. Lead analyst to call for Hail Mary to close above 39.6 to stave off a bearish shift in Bitcoin's market structure. Bitcoin price continues to sell off, and a knock-on effect is even sharper. Correction in altcoins and DeFi tokens. At the time of writing, Bitcoin price has sank to its lowest level in 6 months, and most analysts are not optimistic about the immediate turnaround. Data from Cointelegraph Markets Pro TradingView shows that a wave of selling that began late in the day of June 20th continued into midday and Friday when Bitcoin hit a new low. Well, it's not a new low. It's a new low over the last 6 months, but we've been lower, obviously. And we've even been lower within the last 12 months in this last summer to the tune of 29,000. Traders expect consolidation between 38 and 43. Sudden price drop in BTC, and many crypto traders predicting various dire outcomes along the lines of an extended bear market. Others, like independent market analysis Rec Capital, are not so quick to jump the gun and declare that it's all is lost. As shown in a following chart posted by Rec Capital, the recent BTC rejection means that Bitcoin is now residing at the lower region of its 3843 range. I would say that's a pretty high probability. I think that's a pretty high probability that within the next week, we should likely see Bitcoin stabilizing and coming back up to the tune of 38, between 38 and 42K. I think that's pretty reasonable. I think that's a pretty reasonable prediction. I will say that it also wouldn't surprise me if Bitcoin dropped more before ascending to those general stability markers. Okay, it wouldn't surprise me. So, in fact, part of me kind of was rooting for Bitcoin to 30K for my own for my own investments in margins. Mark says, always reverse your logic if you think you should pull out because it's dipping. If you did the opposite and buy, yeah, you know, there is something to be said. That's where a lot of the money is made in investing, folks, is showing bravery where others have fear. Now, that doesn't mean invest like a reckless jackass, mind you. That doesn't mean you should YOLO the farm and a good chunk of your savings towards, you know, low market cap baby Shibu blubber fat token. You know, I'm not talking about that. But I am saying be brave when others are fearful in terms of high utility established projects with strong communities and active development. You know, probably not a bad idea. Side Edge keeping things going with a $2 super sticker. Thank you for that, Side Edge. Always good to see you, my friend. Always good to see you. Guys, if you haven't hit that thumbs up, if you could just take a second to do that real quick. It's the number one thing you can do to help out the channel. Hugely appreciated. Thank you, guys. So, in the words of Axl Rose, where do we go now? Where do we go now? Well, I'll tell you where I'm going, folks. I'm going to Kokomo, and I'm going to get there fast, but then take it slow. That's where I want to go, way down in Kokomo. I talked about this on a stream a couple weeks ago. Believe it or not, Mr. T did some drumming for the Beach Boys. Yeah, he guessed as a drummer for the Beach Boys, Mr. T. Mr. T of the 80s seminal action team, the A-Team. B.A. Baracus, is some are familiar with him. Yeah, and he had the gold chains, the whole bit, man. So look, anything is possible, folks. If Mr. T could join the Beach Boys, we can get Bitcoin back up to 50K. That should put some pep in your step, right, folks? That's right, folks. Look, you know I've always talked about this on this program, that, folks, we aren't here to make quick gains over, a really short period of time and peace out. This is a long-term community. This is a long-term game. If everybody was born with this incredible inherent sense of patience, there'd be a lot more millionaires and billionaires on the planet than there are now. But there's just not. And a lot of people get spooked along the way. A lot of people get spooked along the way. I can't tell you how much panic I've seen out there amongst investors today. It's just been wild. I'm just simply not worried. I don't care if Bitcoin goes to 20K. I'm just simply not worried. Sorry. I think that's a very low probability of that happening, mind you. But I'm just not sweating the technique, as Eric B. and Rakim said in the early 90s. Now listen, let me give you some more good news here. Let me give you some good news. When we look at what the whole market is doing, considering the market cap volume of Dogecoin, it's doing pretty okay. It's doing pretty okay considering what everything else is doing. It's hanging in there. It's hanging tough. Now, would we like to see it back up towards 20 cents? Of course we would. Do I think it's going to get there? Of course I do. Of course I do. Slide Edge coming with a $2 super chat. Lots of red across the market. Crypto, not worried. Honestly, I am looking. I'm just personally telling you what I'm doing. You guys do whatever you like. But I'm waiting a few more days before I accumulate more crypto. Because I am just being cautious, and I am seeing how the public will react to Jerome Powell and company on Wednesday. That's going to tell us, I believe, that's going to tell us a lot of the trajectory over the next few months of which crypto will be going. But as I said, even this administration, I don't believe, is going to set themselves up for more economic market disaster than is already occurring. I just simply don't believe that they will do that. I think they are going to make, I think what we're going to see on Wednesday are strong steps and efforts to calm the markets. I think more than likely what is going to occur on Wednesday will have a more stabilizing effect on the markets. From everything that I'm seeing, I really wouldn't be surprised if we saw Bitcoin sitting anywhere in the neighborhood between 38,000 and 42,000 within the next 7 to 10 days and stabilizing that. Guys, if you're new here, you're watching Steven Steele Live. I'm Steven Steele, and we've got an awesome community here. I want you to be a part of it, so make sure you hit subscribe and hit all in that notification bell and ascend with us to the moon, Mars, and beyond. You guys know I come here night after night, rain or shine, when the market's bullish, when the market's eating it, it doesn't matter to me. I'm going to be here. I'm going to show up. I'm here for you guys. I've always been here for you guys, and I'll continue to be here for you guys. I'm not just one of those streamers, those fair weather friends streamers that only streams when things are bullish, when there's a ton of good news, and that I can cash in on views when the market's super bullish. I'm here no matter what the market's doing. You guys know this. I stream on an average to 5 to 6 nights a week. I've never stopped. This last year, I've streamed on an average of 5 to 6 nights a week for a year straight. I enjoy the journey. I love this community. And to me, this crypto thing, it's a long, fun, adventurous journey. Let me get to a couple super chats. Truckle today coming up with a $5 super chat. Why is AP13 the only crypto up 40%? I don't know. I have no idea. Trucking all day, but for what I can tell you is this. Look, what I can tell you is this. Every time there is a severe pullback in the crypto market, anytime things are looking incredibly bearish, you can always find a couple exceptions that are going to be a couple breakouts every time. Every time you can point to a few. And why that happens is it's always a little tricky to quantify, isn't it? I will say Lunaterra, comparatively to everything else going on right now, is really holding its own. Look. Oh, Zabi Doge, by the way, thank you for coming in with a $3 super chat. Thank you for coming in with a $3 super chat. I would like to retract my last statement in all transparency on Lunaterra. Forgive me, folks. I had such a long day. I've been working like crazy, getting more active again, and consequently getting my day business back on track and whipping that back into shape so I don't go out of business, so I can start making the money again and hired new folks and just really whipping it back into shape. So forgive me. The last time I saw Lunaterra this morning, it was at a much different place than it is now. So I retract that. Lunaterra is having a rough day like everything else today. But I'm still very bullish on Lunaterra. I'm still very bullish on AVAX. I'm still very bullish on the rest. My only regret is that I didn't wait to add my positions until this time right now. So, just think about it, folks. It could be probable that we could see things even get a little bit lower or stay right around here until the middle of this coming up week here, and then things could really start taking off again. And then you could be left kind of slack-jawed, wondering why you didn't take advantage of this immaculate accumulation period, right? Just food for thought. Slide Edge coming in with a $5 super chat. Current government administration. What's worse, evil or stupid? Answer. Evil gets uppity every once in a while. Stupid is every day. That's why we are crypto-centric. Yes. Folks, when you look at the people who've made it, when you look at the folks who have accomplished the most financial freedom, one thing they almost always have in common are investing, right? Being very aggressive, proactive investors with their expendable capital. Now, sometimes you got to risk it for the biscuit. Each person has a different risk tolerance, and that's okay. There are no right or wrong answers here. Generally, it's a good rule of thumb to not invest more than you can lose. And I think that's wise. Some I know definitely done that, and others I know have it's really paid off for, and others perhaps not. But look, the overwhelming majority of millionaires and billionaires in this country have exercised aggressive investment strategies with their capital. If you're just holding on and you're saving, that's going to be a real hard way to make it. Now, I'm not advocating against saving. In fact, what I did, as I reported to you guys months ago, is I took a lot of my savings account money and I rolled it into USDC on Voyager so I could collect 9% annual instead of a fraction of 1% that most banks offer, right? So that's smart saving, right? I mean, talking a near 10% margin APR, that's pretty smart. That's pretty smart. So that's advanced saving. I would call that advanced saving, right? But sometimes you just got to step out. You got to be bold, but you can be bold and wise. I know a lot of people, and even a lot of more prominent voices, often like to really give the entire crypto market really kind of give it an analogy to that of a casino. I agree with that to a certain degree, particularly on low market cap projects, on BSCs and tokens and things of this nature, a lot of the ERC20s, etc. However, I really don't see it that cut and dry. I really don't see the overall broad crypto market as a complete casino. I don't see it as any more of a casino than stocks, frankly. And furthermore, unlike a casino, there's lots of information available to you, including much of the information I distribute on the show, to give yourself a much higher probability to end up in the win column more than the lose column time and time again. And it's so nice, it's so wonderful to get these sort of messages from you folks saying how much you've leveled up as a consequence, in part, to watching the show. I would propose to you that perhaps a good strategy going into 2022 overall is this: high market cap, high utility, established community, and strong development projects. Long term, forget about it kind of holds. It's over several years. Lower market caps, take profits when you can, and keep it moving. Almost the opposite. Almost the opposite strategy. Now, you could make an argument that some of that strategy you might want to hold, particularly when it comes to DeFi and gaming. There are some newer DeFi gaming projects that are going to absolutely make billionaires, absolutely make millionaires. We're going to see a lot more of this to come. The thing is, the DeFi gaming district of the crypto scene right now is pretty oversaturated. So picking those winners is another matter. Is another matter. But there are things you can do to there's a lot you can do. There's a lot you can do to empower yourself. Furthermore, I've been very encouraged by how incredibly bullish the NFT market has become, kind of as a consequence to the crypto market crashing. It almost is a regulator when you think about it, because what happens when the price of Ethereum goes dramatically down? Well, suddenly, a lot of NFTs that people have been wanting to buy and been on the fence about become much more attainable, become much more affordable. And this has absolutely had a strong bullish effect on the NFT market, and I love to see it. We've got several really big bullish projects going on right now in the NFT world that have been making a lot of waves. People have been making a lot of money over the past few weeks. I will say this as a warning. You could pretty much count on 90% of all NFT projects failing. Okay, so you got to really know what to look for. Now, it seems to be so far that your safest bets in the NFT market are ones that have super strong, committed teams that know what they're doing, that are seasoned, and have a lot of foresight, and have really good post-mint plans and operations. I'm not saying that's always the case. I would say an exception to that rule as it relates to NFTs are somebody very famous launching an NFT, particularly a very famous, established, respected artist. You know, Ozzy Osbourne's Crypto Bats minted out in like 30 seconds. So of course, they put like 80% of the collection was eaten up on the whitelist, which I think is a bit unethical. I mean, putting letting 80% of your 10K mint out on the whitelist. I don't know. But that aside, everybody knows who Ozzy Osbourne is. He's adored. He's respected. So obviously, that's going to drive a tremendous amount of attention and value. But that being the exception of the rule, what's going to dominate the success of what's going to decide, rather, the success of NFT collections are its teams. And the experience they have in knowing what they're doing. So it's kind of been an interesting dichotomy here. We're seeing the crypto market crashing while the NFT market is ascending like crazy. So if you've kind of been on the fence about NFTs, probably now's a good time. I'm not saying you have to purchase one or purchase any NFTs, but I do think now is a good time to at least begin to really familiarize yourself and with the basics of the market, what it's doing and why. I think now would be a wise time to do it. We're seeing like Walmart develop a metaverse and a lot of these metaverses are going to require NFTs to operate in. So it'll be very interesting. It's still evolving day to day. I still think there's tons of money to be made in NFTs. At the same time, we've got to be cautious because the overwhelming majority, I would say to the tune of 90% of NFT projects will fail, will go to near zero. So it's just a matter of knowing how to recognize the highest potential for that 10% out there, obviously, so you can end up where you want to go there. The good news is, I think the more this scene evolves, those markers are going to become clear and clear, and we are already seeing those markers become more prevalent. Folks, if you're just tuning in, you're watching Steven Steele Live. I'm Steven Steele. It's great to have you with us. Feel free to subscribe and hit all on the notification bell. We've got an awesome community here, and would love to have you be a part of it. Cointelegraph reporting a key Ethereum price metric hits 6-month low as Ethereum falls below 3K. Ethereum price has been in a downward trend for 3 months, and derivatives data show pro traders are almost ready to throw in the towel. Ethereum lost the 3,600 support on January 5th as minutes from the Federal Reserve's December Federal Open Market Committee meeting showed that the regulator was committed to decreasing the balance sheet and increasing the interest rates in 2022. And folks, frankly, that's a lot of what's driving what we are seeing, the fear in the market right now. They know what they're doing. They know, the folks at the top, they know what these information leaks do to the markets. They're not stupid. From stocks all the way down to DeFi crypto. They know, baby. They know. And they're going to stabilize that. They're going to stabilize it. They need the people that really run the program, they need the stock market to do well. And consequently, that's going to raise up the crypto market as well. You know, it's easy to forget that many stock investors are secondary crypto investors more than ever before because crypto is open 24/7. It's like Vegas, baby. It's open 24/7, wherein, of course, the stock market is not. So what you do have, and we have data that shows this, particularly over the last year, that a ton of stock traders that were previously not crypto investors now are. And when the stock market closes, that's when the secondary yearning for excitement kicks in, and the crypto investments begin. So these folks have a lot of invested interest. A lot of folks have a lot of vested interest in ensuring that Bitcoin succeeds, that the cryptocurrency succeeds, and I believe it will. We've got a lot of emojis up in the chat requesting for that Texas toast. Had to give you one. Audio Freak says, I have to get a third job to buy the dip again. Sand under $3, mana under $2. That's insane. I know. These are wild opportunities. Of course, anything can happen. Could things keep crashing? Yes. Will they? I think there's a decent probability that it will probably go even a little lower than it's going right now, but I don't see it doing much beyond that. Again, I'm staying to what I feel to be anyway the highest probable scenario of Bitcoin stabilizing in the neighborhood of 38 to 42,000 within the next 7 to 10 days max. 10 days max. Now, once we get to that stabilization zone of 38 to 42 for Bitcoin, I could see it just kind of trading unremarkably sideways for another month or so before we see things ascend again. But the good thing is about time, we shall see. We shall see, folks. Let's see what's going on in the chat. RW, if it's any consolation, Doge is holding up a little better than most cryptos right now. Yes, I have noticed that, and I pointed that out briefly earlier, RW, and I think that's definitely due to the astounding resilience of the Dogecoin community. A lot of holders in Doge, much more so than most other cryptos for sure. Mary in New York coming in with a $5 super chat. Buy the dip, she says. Mary in New York, we love Mary in New York. Thank you so much, and thank you for your continuous support of the broadcast. Hugely, hugely appreciated. Now, what to do, where to go, folks. RW said earlier, what was it? Scott. I think Scott said earlier how low major DeFi projects, the most major DeFi projects and Ethereum alternatives, how low you can scoop them up right now. It is wild. I'm seeing opportunity everywhere, but that's just me, folks. That's just me. I'm not discouraged. I'm not frightened. I'm cool, baby. I'm cool, baby. Zombie Doge Army, I almost bought an NFT from Abstract, but gas was too high. I didn't have enough ETH. Yeah, those gas fees will really get you. Gas fees really get you. And, we keep seeing Ethereum 2.0 I think we're seeing it get pushed back again, if I'm not mistaken. Just from the impression that I got over Vitalik Buterin's most recent public speakings, it's just kind of giving that impression. Now, the further that gets pushed off, the more the biggest competitors of Ethereum will continue to thrive due to that big gas fee issue. We're talking Lunaterra, we're talking Avalanche, we're talking Solana, etc. We are going to see, I believe, these projects continue to capitalize on Ethereum's basically bottlenecking, which is driving a lot of people wild. Vitalik talking wild, someone said, yeah, lately he's just Vitalik Buterin talking about creating artificial wombs for women to carry their pregnancies to make the process less painful, much quicker and more efficient. So women can lead more productive lives outside the pregnancy process. I mean, I don't know if I have a strong opinion on this one way or another. I guess my first reaction is, yikes. I think there's a special bond that likely takes place between a mother and the child in her womb during the process. But then again, I guess we just don't have enough science to conclude one way or another yet, but he's kind of wilding out. I don't get offended by one way or the other. Vitalik is obviously a genius, and you're going to get a mix of pretty eccentric perspectives in the mind of a genius. So I could see Lex Friedman on this show in the future. I would love to have Lex Friedman. If anybody has a connection with Lex, let him know about the show. I would love to host him. I think we could have a great conversation. And who knows what the future holds. Right now, we are just one tiny slice of the YouTubes here with our little community, but all that stuff could change pretty quickly. I will say the engagement rates for this channel, the engagement rates of this community, considering its size, are through the roof. So you guys are awesome. That means we've got one of the most active, committed communities out here, frankly, in this whole crypto thing. So that's awesome, and I'm very proud of that. Rodrigo, good to see you, Rodrigo. Did Tesla just change the price of their merchandise? Did the price change? Oh, so good question. So I believe the price is the same for Doge right now. I believe they're fixed Dogecoin prices on there right now, which means you're going to get some pretty good deals. on Doge gear right now. How many of you bought some Doge gear? Cake at $7.30. Yeah, it's wild out there, guys. It's wild stuff, as Johnny Carson used to often say. Now let's go to the next story here. I'm sure many of you already have been hip to this, but Twitter now basically offering a new feature which allows people to turn their profile pictures into NFTs that directly link to the listing, so you can get more information about that NFT. And you can tell, but you have to sign up for Twitter Blue in order to do this, which costs $3 a month. I've been seeing actually quite a few people on NFT Twitter that are paying for the service right now. I personally don't feel compelled to do it at this time. I'm not saying that I'm against possibly doing it in the future, but I don't know. To me, it seems a little bit silly, but who knows? I'm open. I know Elon Musk had poked a little fun at it last night. He tweeted the screenshot of Twitter announcing its introduction of NFTs as profile pictures. And basically what it means is NFT profile pictures are displayed in this special hexagonal shape. And to choose an NFT as your profile picture, you must connect with your MetaMask, etc. And Elon just added commentary to that screenshot that said, "This is annoying." And then he followed it up with, this was a really good point, by the way. Elon said this is a direct quote from last night. "Twitter is spending engineering resources on this BS while crypto scammers are throwing a spam bot block party in every thread." Oh, yeah. Elon definitely cranking up the sass over there. 7-1 says, "I got a Texas belt bucket factory sealed, but bought with Doge, and the shipping, packaging, and receipt is an NFT that was minted immediately." Awesome. "Haven't received any response or delivery yet," Jason says. "Press 1 if you bought more Doge during the dip," Alan says. Yeah, I mean, right now, Doge is riding right at about 13.5 cents. I didn't think we'd see it this low. Frankly, I thought the lowest Doge is going to go around 14.5 was, I think, my low for Doge. So again, both Bitcoin all the way down. I knew things were going to get more bearish before we could ascend going forward. Those of you who watch the show know that that's what I was predicting. We're just, getting more bearish than I anticipated. But I do think we're going to see some stabilization within the week here, folks. So yeah, definitely people buying the dip here. Indeed. Let's see here. Let's go to another story, shall we? Let's go to another story, Morning Glory. This story is pretty interesting. Joe Rogan unloads on CNN. He says they disseminate propaganda. Coverage is preposterous. Popular podcast host Joe Rogan unloaded on CNN during a recent episode of his podcast with James Lindsay, founder of New Discourses. CNN has plummeted in the ratings, Rogan said, because their coverage has become preposterous and the network disseminates propaganda with smugness. They have to know they destroyed their business, Rogan said to Lindsay. The thing about the 90% drop in ratings last year, did they really experience a 90% drop in ratings in a year? Is that true? They want to say it's because of scandals. Well, that didn't help. I mean, those scandals were pretty bad, folks. The podcast host continued, noting 2 CNN producers who were either charged or being investigated of certain crimes, shall we say, related to youngsters. Yeesh. However, Rogan said that's not the reason for the CNN ratings decline. Most people don't know that. Most people aren't aware of it, he said. It's just that their programming sucks, and I think it's preposterous. There's also a smugness in which they disseminate propaganda. This is not just... I don't think that point is exclusive to CNN. I think overall throughout the corporate media, legacy media, we do see this kind of attitude of assumed superiority and smugness in their delivery, right? I mean, I'm surely many of you folks have noticed this as well. He continued, people know they're full of you-know-what, and they are doing it with a smugness, and it turns people off. It would turn people off even if they were accurate. CNN's coverage also demonstrates an extreme lack of understanding of human nature, he argued. He discussed shaming people for not following certain restrictions. What are you effing saying? You're on the news and you're talking about shaming people, Rogan asserted. Lindsay emphasized that CNN had zero credibility left. And on it goes. On and on it goes. So, yeah, ratings down. I think more and more people are tuning out legacy media, tuning into podcasts, tuning into independent content creators. I mean, folks, we got, about 60 people here tonight at nearly 1:30 in the morning watching this stream when you could be watching anything else. And certainly, at this point, once you've stepped away from that kind of stuff, once you stepped away from the corporate media for a significant period of time, and I don't care, honestly, folks, I don't care which side of the political spectrum that you lean on. I don't care. I sincerely don't care. I'm friends with all sorts of people. But what I'm saying is, no matter where you swing on that, when you step away from the corporate media for any significant period of time, when you re-engage with it and you watch it, it's so banal. It becomes so obvious how banal and stupid and hyperbolic and petty all that coverage is. And then you realize that these people are adults talking this way, adults propagating information in this fashion. And it's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. And of course, I always drop a few viewers when I vary off of crypto territory. I really don't care. I don't care. This is how I do my show, and I won't change it. Jim Cramer. Mad Money's Jim Cramer warns about Dogecoin. Says Doge is a security the SEC will regulate. Oh my goodness. Jim Cramer, host of CNBC's Mad Money, warned about investigating Dogecoin on Thursday. Cramer is a former hedge fund manager who co-founded TheStreet.com. Please be careful with Dogecoin, Jim Cramer said. He tweeted, adding that the meme cryptocurrency is a security and will be regulated. In addition, he wrote, we will find out how many there are and how many are being created each day to make money for the exchanges. Folks, Earth to Jim, we already know how many Dogecoin there are. We already know what the supply is annually. We already know. Jim. This is astounding yet unsurprising, isn't it? And why do I say that? Because it is really incredible. All Jim does is study investments. That's his whole thing. Stock and investments. And he's one of the most popular people in all of our media apparatuses in regards to that. And he doesn't even know the very basic fundamentals of Dogecoin. Jim, it's not hard. This is 5 minutes on a search engine to figure this stuff out. So we are still early. Also, it's a good example of why we can't trust and rely on the corporate media to look out not only what's best for us when assessing news and opinions and what's going on in the world, but particularly as it relates to your financial decisions. These folks, most of them have no clue. They couldn't even tell you the basic fundamentals of most of the top 10 cryptocurrency. Not even the very basics. So this is a real wake-up call. And this should make you feel optimistic, frankly, because we know what time it is here. We generally know what time it is here as it relates to cryptocurrency. And we're still early. Put it this way. You folks in the chat right now, you're smarter than Jim Cramer when it comes to crypto. You're smarter than most of the legacy media representatives when it comes to cryptocurrency. I would like to think it's in part due to tuning into shows like this one. I like to think. Here's a fun article come from the Babylon Bee. For those of you who don't know, Babylon Bee is a joke website. It's a parody website, so please keep that in mind as I proceed. But this article, it made me literally laugh out loud. And the title of it is 9 Offensive Candies That Need to Get Woke Immediately. When M&M's bravely transformed their M&M characters into activists, they shined a spotlight on a problem no one had ever considered before. Can a candy be racist? Can it be transphobic or deplorable? The answer is now we know is yes. I don't know if any of you seen that latest M&M commercial. I wouldn't say it's like super like over the top, like heavy-handed, but it's enough. I mean, the fact that they're like mixing like social engineering with M&Ms is kind of ridiculous in of itself. But here's 9 more candies that need to follow M&M's trailblazing example and get woke ASAP. Now this list is funny. This gets really good. Almond Joy has nuts. Some get nut removal surgery and be transgender. Also, it's not wrong to feel joy in our broken, racist, evil country. That's privilege. Do better, Almond Joy. Sour Patch Kids. None of these kids had gender reassignment surgery. They're not even talking about blockers. And additionally, they're all diverse colors and are getting along in harmony. Not woke all. Mr. Goodbar. Where do we even start? Mr. Goodbar? Sugar Daddy. Don't you mean sugar non-birthing parent? Twix. It's laudable that Twix has a left bar, but it also has a right bar, so it's basically a World War II soldier, put it that way. Gobstopper, made by enlightened, I guess say that one. Whatchamacallit, belittling slang to the level of candy. Very racist, though it does earn some points for having identity crisis. Dubbed chocolate, a white bird for chocolate candy. Are you serious? And finally, Dum Dums makes fun of the mentally less capable among us. The next time you give your sweet tooth, please make sure your candy is ACLU certified. Just because something is tasty doesn't mean it's woke. And if something ain't woke, then it's broke. Not too bad, not too shabby. Good for a laugh, good for a laugh. Now let's go to the next story here. Next story, Morning Glory. We have got some actually a bit of cool news here. New York Post reports Eric Adams. Now, as you recall, Eric Adams is the guy who beat out Andrew Yang for the new mayor of New York City. Eric Adams converting first paycheck to crypto as Bitcoin value plunges. Well, yeah, it is plunging, but it's going to come around. And I think folks like the mayor, Eric Adams, are going to have the last laugh on this new grand experiment with converting his paychecks to crypto, which began Friday, just in time for the latest plunge. The price of Bitcoin hit a six-month low, etc. As mayor, Adam earns an annual salary of $250,000, meaning he will convert about $18,000 of those 3 checks into cryptocurrencies after average tax withholdings. Like buying shares of stock, Adams will either win or lose based on the value of the coins when he sells them. Sometimes it's best to buy when things go down, so when they go back up, you made a good profit, Adams told CNBC. Very well stated, sir. Adams argued for a month that cryptocurrency and other emerging tech platforms represent a major opportunity for the city's economy. I couldn't agree more. New York is the center of the world, and we want it to be the center of cryptocurrency and other financial innovations. Adams said in a statement earlier this week, bringing out the forefront of such innovation will help us create jobs, improve our economy, and continue to be a magnet talent all over the globe. But cryptocurrency has a legion of critics who assail the virtually unregulated coins and mechanism, and as a mechanism for criminals and oligarchs to avoid taxes. Oh, that's rich. That's good. That's good. Yes, because criminals have never used fiat. Criminals have never been known to use cash. Oh, to me, that's just such a weak argument to attack crypto on. No matter what it is, folks. If it's a currency, criminals are going to find ways to try to employ it and use it for nefarious purposes. This isn't unique to cryptocurrency. To me, that's always so weak. Doge tanking hard right now. Someone's saying, yeah. So, yeah, it's going down even further, under 13 cents right now. It's going about 12 cents. That's the bad news. But guess what else is tanking hard right now? Everything. So Bitcoin right now is down to almost 35,000 even. 35,000 even. So folks, try to take a chill pill. I know many of my audience, they're incredibly bullish on Dogecoin. Dogecoin is likely one of your largest position, if not your largest position of many of the folks here, including myself. So the first thing you want to do whenever you start getting, stressed out about your number one position or your favorite cryptocurrency taking a dive, look at the rest of the market is doing, because there's a pretty good chance that it's not unique to your favorite currency and that we are seeing a Bitcoin dominance, a cascading effect, which is exactly what's going on right now. Bitcoin falling a 1.5% over the last hour right now, down to almost 35,000, 35,200 right now. Bitcoin continually to go down. Guys, strap yourselves in, because we could be in for a bumpier ride. I said this at the beginning of the show, and I still say it now. It wouldn't surprise me if we saw Bitcoin come down to the likes of even 30K. It could happen. I really don't see a situation from everything that I'm looking at where Bitcoin gets below 30,000, but it wouldn't surprise me if it did. Now, that's the bad news. The good news also from everything that I've been looking at is I think 30 would be the lowest of the low. And again, I am pretty bullish and optimistic about a stabilizing effect coming into play within the next 7 or 10 days. That's going to look something like Bitcoin stabilizing anywhere between 38 and 42,000. So we've been here before. Again, guys, Bitcoin got down to around 28,000 over the summer in the mid-July before. Now, keep in mind, again, perspective, folks. Again, perspective. So Bitcoin got down to around 28,000 last summer before reaching its all-time high of around 69,000 a few months later. I tell you this to try to encourage you. I tell you this to kind of try to give you guys some perspective and just remind you that we've been here before. We'll be here again. And this is the game crypto plays. It's a roller coaster, baby. But if you're willing to hold long enough, I believe anyway, as it relates to the more established high utility, active projects with strong communities, I think there's a high probability that your future self in 4 or 5 years will likely give you a big hearty thank you to your 2022 self, you see? So, personally, I'm not stressed out. I'm actually kind of enjoying it. I know that sounds wild. I'm kind of enjoying it because I didn't think I would get this opportunity to beef up Bitcoin in my portfolio. So personally, that's what I will be doing. I will be waiting till about Wednesday to do that, unless I see some signs of dramatic turnaround in the market. Until then, if I feel that's going to be the case, then I will buy in and accumulate quicker than Wednesday. You think Doge will pump? Somebody asks. I don't think Doge is going to pump as long as Bitcoin is tanking. That's just the truth, Ruth. I really don't see that happening. But I do think eventually Doge is going to get there, folks. I still think that Dogecoin will be has a really good chance of being the number one most popular digital currency transacted in a retail space. CM Lummis, long time no see. Yes, it's been a while. Great to see you in the mix, CM. Louis Doge Millie, thank you for the $2 super chat. Hang in there, fam. Doge going to the moon. Thank you, Louis Doge. Good to see you in the mix. And, I don't know who needs to hear this, and I tweeted this out earlier today, but I still do believe that Dogecoin is going to the moon. And I know it sounds kind of crazy to say that right now, but I still think there's immense opportunities for coming up for not only Dogecoin, but cryptocurrency in general. The level of adoption, folks, that we've already seen exhibited in very aggressive fashion by the largest, biggest, most powerful companies in the world, particularly over the last 6 months, has been absolutely unprecedented, all the way from cryptocurrency to NFTs and metaverse. We've never seen anything like this, folks. This is all happening for a reason. Overall, also another factor that is playing a role right now, you got to keep in mind there are a few select large nations on this planet right now wherein the governments have been throttling the progress of cryptocurrency, not because they're anti-crypto, I believe. It's because they're figuring out how they're throttling the growth of cryptocurrency through overregulation in their countries until they can figure out a way to leverage to make more money off of it for themselves and their governments in their countries. So I believe that's going on in obviously going on in China. It's going on in select others as well. And once I think they get it sorted where they can figure out how to leverage it in the most advantageous ways, I think the markets will open up a lot more, and we'll see a lot more trading taking place in those territories, which of course will have a much more bullish effect on the market as a whole. I guess what I'm telling you guys is on a worldwide scale, I personally am not really concerned about the welfare of digital currency. So yeah, that's how I feel about it. Let me see what else I got on my notes, folks. Let's see what else I got on my notes. I covered the Jim Cramer thing. The street is talking about a painful day, cryptocurrency, crash royals, social media from Twitter to Reddit. I don't think we got to read in that. I think that's a little bit too derivative of what we've already been covering. Now, be careful, those of you who've been investing in Ozzy Osbourne's NFT project, which I think it's the floor is around 2 ETH right now. I'm not saying it's not going to continue to do well. I do think there's a high probability that it does, particularly with its team behind it. I think it's the same team as CyberCons, etc. So those folks, they seem to know what they're doing. But one glaring oversight that they made that was kind of surprising to me was they updated their Discord group address without deleting the tweets leading people to the old Discord link, because hackers got a hold of that old Discord link when they updated their new Discord link and were able to scam a pretty good chunk of folks out of thousands of dollars. So just be careful. When the project switched over to that new URL, and the scammers set up a fake Discord under their old Discord address, neither CryptoBats or Ozzy, they didn't take precautions into deleting the tweets. So that was actually a surprising oversight given how experienced the team that's on board there. So I was surprised to see that. So just be careful out there, folks. That's all I ask. Just be careful out there. I'm seeing some interesting comments in the chat. I just want to say I see ya. So that's about it. And we got some spam going on in the chat. Good times, great oldies, guys. Good times, great oldies. And I've been streaming for about 75 minutes here, folks. A bit over an hour. I'm going to get back to it. I got some dinner to have. I got some unwinding to do. All my muscles are very sore. I'm reconditioning my body and working through this chronic illness I've been to become more active again despite it and get my day business back on track. But rest assured, this channel will still be very active. Listen, I hope you got some encouragement out of the show tonight. I hope you got this, put some pep in your step. Guys, we are in this together. This is a long-term journey. This is a long-term channel, and I think we're going to continue to grow exponentially in multiple ways here, and we're continue to have fun. We're going to continue to have a lot of fun and a lot of great new experiences together. Consider all of you on the Steele rocket ship. The Steele rocket ship is plenty of room. It's not crowded. There's white leather seats everywhere. There's beautiful stewardesses walking up and down, and we are smooth sailing all the way to the moon, Mars, and beyond. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. I appreciate each and every one of you. Please stay positive. Keep the Doge momentum. Keep that momentum going. And you know. Until next time, and it won't be long, guys, I assure you. This is your man, Real Deal Steven Steele, signing out. Until next time, guys.
Told